Hello, I am Dr. Hani, a psychiatry resident, and recently many people have started discussing something alarming. What if dollar reaches rupees 100? Now, this is not an economics lecture, but today I want to explain something more important. What happens psychologically when people start feeling financially insecure? Because the human brain does not react only to danger, it also reacts to uncertainty. And uncertainty is one of the biggest triggers for anxiety. When people hear prices may rise, jobs may become unstable, life may become more expensive, the brain enters a threat detection mode, even if nothing bad happened yet. Why? Because the brain constantly tries to predict the future. When the future feels unpredictable, the mind becomes hyper alert, and this is why during the financial uncertainty, many people notice overthinking, irritability, sleep disturbance, doom scrolling, like many of you do all the day, fear about career, fear of failure, constant comparison with others, and slowly the nervous system remains activated all the time. Psychology has a concept called perceived loss of control. When humans feel they are losing control over life, stress hormones rise like cortisol, and interestingly, sometimes the fear of financial collapse creates more psychological suffering than the actual financial problem itself, because anticipation anxiety can be mentally exhausting. Now, think about young adults today. Many are already dealing with academic pressure, career uncertainty, social media comparison, fear of not being successful enough, and then economic fear gets added on top of it. The brain starts asking, will I ever earn enough? Will my future be stable? Am I falling behind? And this creates a chronic stress. There is another psychological phenomenon here. When society becomes financially anxious, people unconsciously absorb each other's fear. This is called emotional contagion. One negative reel, one alarming headline, one panic discussion, and suddenly everyone feels unsafe. Even people who are mentally stable before can begin feeling anxious, because fear spreads socially very fast. And there is an important part. Being aware of economic reality is healthy. Constant panic is not. Your brain was not designed to consume the financial fear 24 hours a day. If every day begins with market crash, recession, currency fear, comparison, and panic, eventually your nervous system stops relaxing. And chronic stress affects the concentration, mood, immunity, sleep, and motivation, and sometimes also your relationships. Even decision making becomes more fear driven. So, what should people actually do psychologically? First, they should focus on the controllables: your skills, your discipline, your health, your emotional stability, because uncertainty becomes more dangerous when identity depends completely on the external conditions. Second is reduce the fear based content consumption. Information helps, overconsumption harms. And third, understand this clearly. Human beings have survived economic crashes, wars, recession, inflation, and uncertainty for many generations. So the mind is more adaptable than we think. The goal is not to ignore the reality. The goal is not letting the fear completely control your nervous system, because when anxiety becomes chronic, people stop living in the present and start mentally living inside a imagined disasters, and that is psychologically exhausting. So yes, economies fluctuate, currencies can also fluctuate, but mental resilience also matters, and sometimes protecting your mind becomes just as important as protecting your money. So for more such interesting topics, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.